Okay, so good morning all. Then join at Chagatigut in on Good morning, brother. Right? So last session was like about 4 hours. Sorry, approximately 4 hours. Right? So we did a good job, right? So we covered the title 2 as well, right? We identified the characteristics of the graphs, right? And we calculated y coordinate divided by x coordinate, which is a constant, and it is called the gradient of the graph. For a y equals mxt, right? And we compared the gradients, right? When the angle made with the positive axis, right? With the angle made with the positive direction of the x-axis, right? When it is increasing, the gradient is increasing step by step. Right? So those things are have been discussed, and we finally did something like write the gradient of the graphs, right? Without drawing the graph, right? Graph එක අඳින්න නැතුව කොහොමද gradient එක ලියන්නේ කියන. And we did something like we have been given the function, right? We have been given the function, and we have to show some given point is on the function or not, right? So we did that as well, right? As I think, yes, we have finished. Yeah, we have finished on that point. So, okay. Right. So we have to do. The last week I told you to do exercise 20.2 as well. Yeah. The page number 8, example number 3, and example number 4. Then after that, exercise 20.2. So I will remember you guys that one. Right? Number 3 and number 4, you can check yourself. So I will begin from that one. Page number 8 of the tube. Right? ඉතින් ඔයාලා යාළුවෝ ඉන්නවනම් ඔයාලා මේ link එක share කරන්න. So that they can join. හරිද? මම chat එකට දාලා තියන්නම්. හරි. ඔයාලා කැමති නම් share කරන්න. මේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෙයි. හරි. ඒගොල්ලෝ මොනවා හරි කරගන්න. Right. Okay, link is in the chat. Right, Zoom link. හරි පුතේ. විතර කියන එයාගේ යාළුවෝ කම්මැලි ටිකද? හරි. ඔගේ පුතේ. මේ Right. So guys, I will refresh your knowledge. Right. So page number 8, example number 3. So we have to show that the given point, right, 0.8 upon 3 comma 2 is on the line or not. Right. So in another word, we have to show that this point satisfied this line or not. If this point satisfied this point, right, your LHS would be equal to 0. Right? LHS left hand side would be equal to 0. Right? If you can remember the last week we did that thing. So first of all, you need to make sure that you have this function and you have to take all the terms to your left hand side, so you can build the LHS left hand side, right? So the way that you are going to do is, right, third one, right, third one. So you have this function y equals 3 upon 4, right? Right. Then you have the point, this point. So you have to show this 8 upon 3 comma 2, right? This point is on this line or not. So in another word, this point satisfied this function or not, right? So first step that you need to do is, right, you have to take this right hand side term to your left hand side, right? So this is already positive, you know that. Right? This is positive, positive 3 upon 4x. So Buddha, when it comes to the other side, right, when it comes to the left hand side of this equal mark, it would automatically becomes minus, right? මම අර පොඩි අයට වගේ ලියන්න යන්නේ නැහැ හරි දෙපැත්තෙන් අඩු කරනවා right. So we have to do the same thing for both of the sides, right? Left hand side and right hand side, which are from equal mark, right? Which are from the left hand side and right hand side of the equation mark, right? So we are not going to do that. So at once I have taken this term to my left hand side by negating it. Right? Okay. Now here you have LHS, right? Now here you have LHS, left hand side equal to 0, right? So I will take this side as my left hand side, right? Left hand side. So now I will separately write my left hand side equals half y 3 upon 4x, right? Right. Now, what are the points that I have? This is the point, right? This is the point. X coordinate is this, y coordinate is this, right? So I am going to substitute 8 upon 3 on the x coordinate, y equals 2 on the y coordinate. Right? Right. So first of all, then I will write substitute point 8 upon 3 comma 2, right, on LHS, right, on LHS, right. Now I can write LHS equals half. Instead of y, I am going to substitute 2. Multiply by 2 minus 3 upon 4. Right? Instead of x, I am going to substitute 8 upon 3. Multiply 8 upon 3. Right. Now, numerators and denominators, we can simplify them, right? අපිට ඒක තව දුරටත් සුළු කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? We can simplify it, right? So, here in the numerator we have 2, denominator we have 2, 2 times 1, 2 times 1, 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 3 times 1, 3 times 1. So we will be having 1 times 1, 1 minus 1 times 2, 2. 1 minus 2 minus 1. What happens? Right? What happens? LHS does not equal to 0. Ne? LHS does not equal to 0 because LHS is having a value. Right? So you can write LHS left hand side, right, does not equal to 0. Does not equal to 0. Therefore, the given point, you can write the answer, the given point does not satisfy the given function and therefore, right, the point or the given point, whatever the given point does not lies on the given function, right? So this is the full answer right? If you have this kind of a question, right? In your short question paper, right, they might ask, show that this given point is on the given function, or this given point, right, satisfy the given function, right, or this given point lies on the given function. So a තුනෙන් මහන්නේ same thing, right? So those three types of questions are same. So you have to do the same steps. හරිද? So if you do not do this, please write down මේක ලියාගන්න. Then try to do the example number 4, page number 8, fourth one, right? Then I will discuss when you finish doing the fourth one, right? Please put a message. D4 done. You can send me a D. Sometimes some of you might have done. Right? Please write this down. Maybe ලියාගන්න. Right? maybe ලියාගන්න. Then මෙතන තියෙන්නේ 8 upon 3. 8 upon 3. Right? So write down this and then do the fourth example. Right? And let me know once you done. D4 done. Send me D4 done. Right? So first of all, you need to make sure that you have LHS like this. So you have to make it. You have to prepare it to take this one to your left hand side and make this LHS equal to 0 first of all, right? Then take LHS like this, right? LHS equals this, right? Your function. Substitute the given point on this function x coordinate and the y coordinate, and on LHS, right? Then you have to simplify it. Then take the answer after substituting the point on the function. LHS equals something, right? This might be LHS equal to 0 or does not equal to 0, right? So then you can say, right, if the LHS equal to 0, the given point lies on the function, or you can say satisfy the function. Right? If the LHS does not equal to 0, metana, right? Here it is does not equal to 0, ne? It does not equal 0. So you can say does not lie on the function or does not satisfy the function. Right? One of these things can be used. Right? Right. So I will do the fourth one. Right? I will do the fourth one. Right. So the fourth one is something like this. Fourth one. 3 upon 2 y equals minus 5x minus 5x. The given point is minus 2 comma minus 2. Right. Okay. So first of all, this is not in the right LHS equals 0 form. So both of the sides we have two terms. So in the right hand side we have minus 5x, right? So I am going to take it to the other side of the equal mark, right? So that we can have LHS equals 0, right? So I am going to form that 3 upon 2 y, take this to this side, right? This is minus 5x. When it comes to the left hand side, it automatically becomes positive. 5x equals 0, right? Okay. Now we have, this is our left hand side, so I will take it separately, right? So LHS, my LHS is equal to 3 upon 2 y plus 5x, right? So this is it. Now I am going to substitute the point, right? Minus 2 comma minus 2 on LHS, correct? So this is my x coordinate, this is my y coordinate. So where I have x, I am going to substitute minus 2. Where I have y, I am going to substitute minus 2, right? So let's do this. So here we have 3 upon 2. Instead of y, I am going to substitute minus 2, right? So here I have plus, then I have 5. Instead of x, I am going to substitute minus 2. And right, let's simplify. So here you have, here you have positive sign, right? But you are not going to mention positive into negative, negative, positive into negative, negative, right? Then the denominator you have 2, in the numerator also you have 2, 2 times 1, 2 times 1. So 3 times 1, 3, right? Plus, before you are mentioning this is plus, you have to check the signs first, right? Positive into negative, negative, 5 times 2, 10, right? 5 times 2, 10, right? So it is minus 30. I think the Yemit's answer is correct, right? Yeah. So the final answer you have to write the same thing, right? So LHS left hand side does not equal to 0, right? Therefore, the given function, right? The given point does not satisfy the given function. Therefore, the given point does not lies on the given function. So this should be the final answer. Right? This is for your short note. Right? So please write this. May liya ganna. Or may guna. Guys, do you have any questions? මොනවාරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද? මේ කෑලි. From this part, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Right. Guys, did you finish writing? මේක ලියලා ඉවරද? ලියලා ඉවර නම් if you finish writing, please let me know why. Yes, okay. Send me a why for. Okay. Right. Okay, guys. So let's move to the next. So same thing, same thing like in the previous example. Right. In last week we did some examples which are LHS equal to 0, right? So lies on the function points. Example number 1 and 2 are same. Okay. Right. So shall we do the example? Right. Page number 9. Page number 9. Example 5. Page number 9. Example 5. So we have a table and we have to fill the blanks. We have a table and we have to fill the blanks. But this is not the format that you are going to use to fill these blanks. So first of all, if they are asking like this, fill the table with the suitable steps, right? By showing the suitable steps, fill the table. In that kind of situation, you cannot use this graph. Sorry, use this table. May table use karlam hai. So you have to show how you are going to obtain the y values for these blanks. Right? These blanks, we have 3 blanks. So you have to show the working. Right? So they might task by showing the workings, fill the table. Right? So on and so. So the exercise 20.2, right? Exercise 20.2, right? Example number 5, right? Which is page number 9. Right. So guys, we have a function something like this. Y equals minus 2 upon 3x. Correct? Minus 2 upon 3x. So this one, right? We have to form inside this table. First row is our range of the values for x-axis, right? Minus 6, minus 3, 0, positive 3, positive 6, right? Then I am going to complete this table. Now look at the board and focus on the board. Right? Right. Now here you have x and y equals something. Y equals something. Now these x values, each and every x value has been multiplied by minus 2 upon 3 in order to get the value of y. So we need to form this term inside this table, right? We need to form this term inside this table first, right? So we are going to write down this term, full term here, right? Under x. So I am going to write minus 2 upon 3, right? Multiplied by x, right? Then right? I am going to fill the next one. So this whole value, right? This whole value equals to y. Then you can put y here. Y here, right? So now what I have to do is I have to substitute these values instead of x. Right? I have to substitute these values instead of x. Right. Now you are going to substitute each and every value to this and you are going to fill this blank. Right. So if you want, you can do like this. Minus 2 upon 3 multiplied by, instead of x, you are going to substitute minus 6. Right? Minus into minus positive. Right? Minus into minus positive. 3 times 1, 3 times 2. 2 times 2, 4. Positive 4. Right? Then here minus 2 upon 3 multiplied by minus 3. Right? Minus into minus positive. 3 times 1, 3 times 1. Right? So the 2. 2 times 1, 2. Here you have 0. If you substitute 0 instead of x, the whole term becomes 0. Right? 0 into something 0. Correct? So, on the other hand, here you had 2 when you are substituting minus 3 and when you are substituting positive 3, the opposite thing. The answer should be minus 2 and here the answer should be minus 4. Alright, there is a pattern. Alright, so I will do this one right before substitute, right? So instead of x I am going to substitute x. So minus into positive minus, right? Minus 3 times 1, 3 times 1, answer is 2, right? And here this one minus 2 upon 3 multiplied by 6, right? Minus into positive, the answer is minus, right? 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 2 times 2, 4. Arad, 2 times 2, 4. Right. Okay. Now the values are 4, 2, minus 2, minus 4. Right? But if you practice this, make a practice karot, right? If you practice this, no need to do these things. Right? If you can, you can substitute by using your mind. Right? Instead of x, you are going to substitute minus 6. Minus into minus positive. Here we have 3. 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 2 times 2, 4. Positive 4. Right? So on and so forth, you can substitute. Right? Here you have positive 3. You are going to substitute x, right, as positive 3. So 3 times 1, 3 times 1. negative into positive, negative. 2 times 1, 2. Right? So negative 2. Right? So on and so forth, you can do that. Right? So this whole value equals to y. This whole value equals to y. So your y row, right? So the y value range is 4. Directly it equals to this column, this row, y equals this. Y equals this means 2, 0, minus 2, minus 4. Right. Yes, do you need time to fill out or write down? Oh, already you have done. All right. What about others? Do you guys need time to write? Oh, you have finished. All right. Okay. Now, then we have to draw the graph of the above given function using the values in the completed table. So, I am going to clear the board, right? And before that, I am going to write down my ordered pairs, right? So that I needed to draw the graph, right? So first one is the x value is minus 6, y value is 4. So the first order pair is minus 6 and 4, right? Right. So this is the part 1. Before doing the part 2, I am going to write down my ordered pair so that I need to mark them inside my Cartesian plane. Right? Before drawing the graph. Right? Minus 3 minus 3 positive 2 0 comma 0, right? 3 comma minus 2 6 comma minus 4, right? Okay, I will clear the board. Alright. Now I have 5 ordered pairs that I need to uh, draw in the Cartesian plane. Right. Now, first of all, before you are going to draw a Cartesian plane, right, you need to make sure that you have a complete idea, right? Complete idea about the range of the y-axis of the Cartesian plane, range of the x-axis of the Cartesian plane, right? So, how far should I draw the Cartesian plane or the number line or the Cartesian plane x-axis or the Cartesian plane's y-axis? How far should I draw? So that you need to examine, you need to take 1 to 2 seconds to analyze the x coordinates and y coordinates of the points. Right? Here you have 5 points. Right? These are the x. First coordinate is x minus 6 minus 3 0 3 positive 6. Right. So my x axis varies, right? Minus 6 to positive 6. Right? Minus 6 to positive 6. But if I do a good practice, I can a good practice our maximum value is for x axis is 6 නේ. So I will take up to 7. හරිද? මම 7 වෙනකන් ගන්න. හරි? The lowest value is minus 6 again නේ. On my left hand side of the x axis minus 6 නේ. So I will take up to minus 7 as a good practice. හරිද? Good practice. ඒක වැරදි නෑ. It is not wrong, right? But it would be better if you can practice this. When you are going for your O level, then when you are going for your A levels, and after that in your universities, right? ඔයගොල්ලෝ යුනිවර්සිටි වලට තේරෙන්නේ හරිද degrees ගන්නේම හරි so higher studies right it would be a good practice ඒක හොඳ practice එකක් වෙනවා right so that අර බලන කෙනා impress වෙනවා මෙයා something know about the thing හරිද you know one thing or two right මොනවා හරි දෙයක් දන්නවා maths ගැන කියලා එයාට impression එකක් එනවා හරි so you need to give that positive vibe to the examine හරිද හැමතිස්සෙම බලන්න කොහොමද ඔයාගේ paper එක බලන එක්කෙනාව ඔයා impress කරන්නේ හරිද that should be one of the goals ඒකක් ගන්න ඕනේ හරිද ඒකක් ගන්න ඕනේ but ඒකක් ගන්නත් අරකට tactics එක හරිද ඔයාලට ඒක මිස් වෙන්නේ එක ලකුණෙන් නම් now your marks is 74 හරිද but you have done your paper very clearly පට්ට ලස්සනයි මාර ලස්සනට කරලා තියෙනවා හරිද මේ හැබැයි unfortunately you missed one right one mark if the examiner is in a satisfied mode හරිද එයා වාගේ paper එක ගැන සතුටු නම් if he or she is in a, like happy mode right they will add one mark හරිද එහෙම කරන අය ඉන්නවා හරිද දැන් මම O level ලියනකොට මට අපේ විභාග ශාලාවේ හිටපු එනම් මං ගැන ඉම්ප්‍රෙස් වෙලා නෙමෙයි හරි මම ඔළුව ඔහොම ගාගෙන හිටියා ඊට පස්සේ ඒ ගණන් පේපර් එක ගෙනේ වෙරේ ඇවිල්ලා මට මොකද කියලා මට ගොඩක් ඔළුව රිදුනා ඒ වෙලාවේ හරි මොකක් හරි වෙලා ඊට පස්සේ මං ඒ ගාන දිහා බලලා ඉන්නකොට මට එයා ඒක එකක් කියලා දුන්නා හරිද එහෙම කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා හොඳ කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා සුපුතා බය වෙන්න දෙයක් නැහැ හරිද if you are doing your works not harder but smarter හරිද you can do this මේක nothing හරිද but what you need to do is අර pattern එක අඳුර ගන්න ඕනේ ඩක් හරිද catch you need to catch the pattern හරිද එතකොට you can do whatever the things හරි ඔයා genius කෙනෙක් නම් වා එහෙම ලොකුවට ඉගෙන ගන්න පන්ති 10කට 15කට ගිහිල්ලා නෙමෙයි එහෙම නෙමෙයි ඔයා පැයක පන්තියකට ගියත් ඔයා වැඩෙක් නම් ඔයාට පුළුවන් ඔයාට උපතින්ම ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා නම් right if it is your born talent right you can do but ඔයා පතම වැඩෙකුත් නෙමෙයි පතම මැට්ටෙකුත් නෙමෙයි right in the middle නම් හරිද ඒ දෙක අතර නම් ඉන්නේ right you have to do some works හරිද ඔයාට පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ to increase your level හරිද ඔයා ඉන්න තරමෙන් පොඩ්ඩක් උඩට එන්න ඔයා පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ හරිද අර අමාරුවෙන් වැඩ කරන්න නෙමෙයි ඒක ස්මාර්ට් විදිහට වැඩ කරලා ගන්න හරිද ඒ කියන්නේ හරි ට්‍රික්ස් ටික හරියට අල්ල ගන්න හරි ඊට පස්සේ consistency කියන්නේ අර හැමදාම කරන එක. ඔයා හැමදාම විනාඩි 30ක් ගණන් විතරක් බලනවා නම් හරිද? ඔයා සතියේ දවස් 5ට හරි පැය දෙකමාරක් ගණන් වැඩ කරලා සුපිරි. හරිද? මාර දෙයක් වෙනවා ඇඟට. පැය ගණන් මේ ලත වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ ගණන් වල හරි. දවසට විනාඩි 30ක් allocate කරන්න. රෑ 8 ඉඳලා 8:00 වෙනකම් මම නිදියන්න කලින් අනිවාර්යෙන් 8 ඉඳලා 8:00 කවර් කරලා තමයි නිදියන්නේ ගණන් හැමදාම. හරිද? එහෙම තියාගන්න. because when you are going for your A levels හරිද? if you are planning to do mathematics, bio stream, right, and commerce, so on and so forth, right, it is necessary to have at least B passed for mathematics, at least B හරිද? ඔයාලට C වගේ තියෙනවා නම් අර විශේෂ අවසර මත කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. එච්චර ඉතින් කට්ට ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ විශේෂ අවසර අරගෙන. හරිද? මේක කරගන්න. හරි. ඔයාලට තාම මේකේ gravity එකක් නැහැ when you are going for your grade 10. grade 10 එකෙත් මුලදී නෑ right? ඒ 9 just passed out නේ. when you are going to like grade 10 mid පොඩ්ඩක් බයක් දැනෙනවා. O level නේ. හරි O level නේ. oh right okay then after finishing the grade 10 ඔන්න ටිකක් විතර heat up වෙලා හරි ටිකක් විතර heat up එතකොට පොඩ්ඩක් විතර පරක්කු වෙලා නමුත් okay හරි ඊට පස්සේ ඔන්න 11 පටන් ගත්තා right you just begun the grade 11 and ආයේ quarter එකක් විතර යනවා දැන් පොඩ්ඩක් ඔන්න case හරි වැඩ වැඩි content එක ලොකුයි පත ගොඩක් තියෙනවා පාඩම් ගන්න බය වෙනවා හරිද but from your grade 9 if you practice the 30 minutes thing right you might have a lot of hours until grade 11 right each and every day you are practicing 30 minutes mathematics nothing හරිද පට්ට ඇති ඕක කරගන්න තමයි අමාරු මම නිදියන්න කලින් හැමදාම විනාඩි 30ක් කැල්කියුලේට් කරලා right දවසේ නිින්දට යන්න කලින් විනාඩි 30ක් මම ගණන් හදනවා. අර විනාඩි 30ක් බැර නම් පළවෙනි දවසේ විනාඩි 20ක් හදන්නකො. එක ගාණක් කරා විනාඩි 20ම හදන්න. හරිද? ඔයගේ විනාඩි 20 ඒවා 365 වැඩි කිරීම දෙකක් තුනක් විතර ගන්නකො. එතකොට හදලා බලන්න කොච්චර අවස් ගණක් වැඩ කළද ගණන් වලට. from grade 9 from grade 10. හරි? Okay. So let's do this. Right? So what I was telling is, right? මෙතන right x range is varies from -6 to +6, right? So for a as a best practice, if you have like 6 as the ending point of the series or the x-axis, you might go for another one extra value, 1 unit ahead. 6 now 7 -6 now -7, right? So now x-axis is done with y-axis 4 2 0 -2 -4, right? So it varies from +4 to -4, right? +4 to -4, right? Best practice +5 to -5, +5 to -5, right? Okay guys, so I am going to draw the axis, right? So this is my y-axis. Here you should mention your arrowhead. With an arrowhead is needed, and you need to mention that this is my y-axis. Otherwise, this is not a Cartesian plane, right? This is the standard method. Right? Then x-axis. Right. At the end of the right-hand side of the x-axis, you have to mention your arrowhead, right? So you need to mention as well x. This is your x-axis. Right? Now I am going to divide. Range of x-axis -6, +6. So I will mark up to 7. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Positives. Right? Then from this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these things are minus. Right? Y-axis. Right? +5 to -5. Right? Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Kishali, can you mute? Right, okay. Right? Right, here 1. Right? Then Buddha, this is up to +5. So negative side. -1, -2, -3, -4, up to -5. Right? So I have marked my x-axis and y-axis. Right? Right? So now I am going to mark these points on this Cartesian plane. So this is the standard method that you are going to draw your Cartesian plane. Right. Now the first point, -6, +4. Right? -6 and +4 is here. Somewhere around here. Right? This is your -6, +4. -3, +2 is somewhere around here. Right? Then 0, 0. This is right. So this is your origin. This is 0. Right? And 3, -2. 3, -2. It is somewhere around here. Right? Then 6, -4. 6, -4. It is somewhere around here. Right. Now we have the points, right? Now we have the points and we are going to join them by using the ruler, right? If you want, you can extend the graph line. If you want, you can extend the graph line, right? Until the end of the Cartesian plane, right? Okay. So Uda, now is this the end? Now is this the end? No. You need to show the function of this graph is equal to y equals minus 2 upon 3x, right? So you need to mention that this is my y equals minus 2 upon 3x, right? So you need to mention this on top of the graph, or you can just use an arrow, right? Then you can say this is my y equals minus 2 upon 3x, right? Right. Then this is the second part. So next one, using the graph, find the value of y when x equals minus 2. Ah, right. So last week we did this, right? How to draw the uh, functions when x equals something, when y equals something. Right? Now here we have x equals minus 2. Now where I have the x term, x axis. Here I have the x axis. From this x axis, you are going to choose minus 2. Where are your minus 2? Where is your minus 2, right? So here is your minus 2 on x axis. So you are going to draw a line here, right? Right, from minus 2, you are going to draw a line here, right, which intersect with your graph. Okay? Which intersects with your graph, right? Right. So now, then this is the intersection point. When the method intersection point. This is the intersection point, right? And you are going to draw a parallel line to the x-axis until it meets your y-axis, like this. Right? You are going to draw a dotted line like this, right? So you can find your value here, right? So when you are drawing a graph, it would be better if you can use the graph papers, right? It would be better if you can use graph papers to draw this. Guys, give me 5 seconds, right? Find the value of this. Make a value of what up, right? So if you use the uh, graph papers to draw, right? You have a scale, so easily you can find what is on the y-axis, right? You can count it, right? So it is more than 1. So right now think something like this. Right? Now this point is not sure, right? Now you are not sure with the point that you gain. Or the small trick. There is a small trick to do. හරිද පොඩි ටිප් එකක් තියෙනවා, right? Now your x value is x equals minus 2. You are going to substitute that here, right? Y equals minus 2 upon 3. There is your x. There is your x. හරිද? Instead of x, you are going to substitute x equals minus 2. If you substitute x equals minus 2, right? X equals minus 2. Right, it will give you 4 upon 3. Y equals 4 upon 3. Right, 4 upon 3. So, right, 4 upon 3 means 1 point something. 3 times 4 upon 3 means this. 4 divided by 3. 3 times 1, 3. Then you have 1.33 something. So, right, in the small, right, if you use the small points here, right, in between 1 and 2, you are going to separate into 10 small points, 10 equal small points like this, right? So definitely you will have this at 1.3. 1.3, correct? So if you have a little bit of doubt, or doubt right? Now they have given x minus 2 නේ. මේක මේ හැමතැනම පෙන්න ඉන්නේ හරි. මේක හොරෙන් කරන්න. You are just drawing x minus 2 line here, right? Until it intersects your graph, until it intersects your graph, you are going to draw your x equals minus 2 line like this. Then where the point intersect both these lines, x minus 2 and y equals 2 minus 2 upon 3x graph line, and you are going to draw a parallel line to the x-axis until it intersect with the y-axis, so that you can find the y coordinate. You know x coordinate is minus 2, you are going to find the y coordinate. So now you have a doubt. අඩේ මට මේක doubt. Right? මෙතන කීයද දන්නේ නැහැ. මට 1.5 වගෙත් එනවා. Right? මට 1.1 වගෙත් එනවා. But I am not sure. Some of you guys might take 1.5. හරිද? සමහරලාට ස්කේල් එක වැරදුනොත් ඔයාලා අඳින මේක parallel, right? Parallel නොවුනොත් බැරි වෙලා හරි එහා මෙහා ඇද වුනොත් පොඩ්ඩක් එහා මෙහා ගිහිල්ලා, right? So it will lose the points, right? It will fluctuate between the points because these small separations are there is a small gap between them. So it might be a wrong answer if you give like this. But if you are 100% sure, super, right? 1.3. Yes, my answer is 1.3. But you can check it. You can check your answer. You have to do a little bit of thing. Trip x minus 2, x equals minus 2. Substitute it here, right? Minus 2, minus into minus, positive, right? 2 upon 3 times 2. 2 times 2, 4 upon 3. 4 upon 3 again, 1.3. 3. Done. 3 කියලා ලියන්න එපා, right? එතකොට දන්නවා අරකට දැම්ම කියලා, right? 1.3. හරි. So then later draw it on up to 1.3, right? So done. So your value should be example number 3, right? So sorry, part 3. Using the graph, find the value of y when x equals 2, right? Y equals 1.3. Right? So this should be your answer. This is how we are going to find it. Right? Fourth one, right? The thing that we did earlier. So does the point minus 2 upon 3, comma, positive 2 upon 3 lie on the above graph? Explain your answer with reasons. We have done it earlier. So you have to do the same thing here. Right. So this is your function y equals minus 2 upon 3x. So what is the first step that you need to do in order to do the fourth one? Right, I will do it here. Y equals minus 2 upon 3x. Y equals minus 2 upon 3x. This is not in the form of LHS equals 0. So we have to build it. We have to prepare this. So minus 2 upon 3x, you are going to take this term to your left hand side, so that your right hand side equals 0. That is the form, first form, right? So here y, this is minus, when it comes to the other side, it becomes positive. Positive 2 upon 3x, right, equals 0, right? Then I will take this as my LHS, left hand side. There is a pattern that you need to understand, right? A pattern you need to understand that, right? So now my LHS is equals y plus 2 upon 3x, right? Now this is my LHS, right? I am going to substitute Right? Substitute. What is my point? Minus 2 upon 3, comma 2 upon 3 on LHS. Right? On LHS. So I am going to substitute these values. LHS equals, instead of y, I am going to substitute 2 upon 3 because that is my y coordinate, right? 2 upon 3 plus, here I have 2 upon 3. Here I have x. Instead of x, I am going to substitute minus 2 upon 3 multiplied by minus 2 upon 3, right? So then now I am going to simplify, right? Right. So here 2 upon 3 positive into negative. Right? 2 times 2 4. 3 times 3 9. That is a fraction, eh? You know how to simplify a fraction, eh? Actually, now you can understand this is not equal to 0. Eh? Now you can understand this is not equal to 0. Now you can understand this is not equal to 0 because they are LHS greater than 0. There is a value in it. So I will simplify one. So equal mark. You know how to convert 3 into 9, eh? Because the denominators should be equal together, right? 2 upon 3. Multiply this side by 3 and the numerator by 3. 4 upon 9. Now you know 3 times 3 9. Denominators are equal. 2 times 3 6. 6 minus 4 2. 2 upon 9. Right? So this is your LHS. So you can say blah blah blah, right? LHS does not equal to 0, right? LHS does not equal to 0, so that the given point does not lie on the given function or does not satisfy the given function. Done, right? So that you can write it. No, make clear and right. Fifth one, fifth one, right? Yes. I will do the fifth one here. Right. Okay, now we have done this part in the last week as well. Using the coordinates of 3 points on the line. So first of all, you have to choose 3 points on the line. Calculate the ratio of the y coordinate to the x coordinate. Right. So write the relationship between these values and the gradient. So now you are not going to take, right, the values that you can see, right? So you are going to take some value from here, right? I mean, you cannot even read it. I mean, you cannot even read the coordinates of that value. If you have a kapati mind, right? If you are a cunning guy, what a kapati dial, you will take this point, that is this. You will take this point, that is this, and you will take this point, that is this. So I will choose these 3 points, right? So those 3 points, we know that neither. We use those points to draw the graph, right? So we really know that values. So I will take these three values. So I will take this point A, right? This point A minus 6 comma 4, right? And this point B, right? Minus 3 comma 2, because they are saying to choose 3 points. So this point C positive 3 comma minus 2, right? Positive 3 comma minus 2. Right. Now they are saying to get the ratio of the y coordinate to the x coordinate. So point A. Point A. Y coordinate divided by x coordinate. Right? Y coordinate divided by x coordinate. So what is my y coordinate? This is x, this is y. Y coordinate is 4. X coordinate is minus 6. So I can simplify. Numerator is positive. Positive divided by negative, negative. Right? I can simplify. 2 times 2, 2 times 3. So this is 2 upon 3 minus 2 upon 3. Right? Point B. Same thing I have to do. Right? Whether y coordinate divided by x coordinate equals. This is my x coordinate, this is my y coordinate. Y coordinate is 2, x coordinate is minus 3. So the 2 is a positive one, positive divided by negative, negative 2 upon 3. Done. C. Point C is this. X coordinate, y coordinate. Right? Y coordinate divided by x coordinate equals, y coordinate is minus 2 divided by 3. So we cannot simplify this furthermore. Minus 2 upon 3. Very interesting. This one is a constant, and same constant. Right? So the relationship is the y coordinate to x coordinate ratio is equal to minus 2 upon 3, which is a constant, and that constant is called gradient or is equal to gradient. Shall we check? Right? So our function is y equals minus 2 upon 3x. Right? So this is in the form of y equals mx. Yeah. Last week I told you guys what is m, right? Gradient equals to m. Right? M equals this minus 2 upon 3. Minus 2 upon 3, minus 2 upon 3, minus 2 upon 3. So you can write the relationship, the gradient, right? The gradient, or you can refer it to m, right? Or your y coordinate divided by x coordinate equals minus 2 upon 3. And so this is the thing that we need to understand is the relationship, right? In the graph, right? On the graph, each and every point, if you take any point, right? Any calculatable point, right? If you get the y coordinate divided by x coordinate, your answer will be the same. Minus 2 upon 3, minus 2 upon 3, minus 2 upon 3, right? Which is equal to the gradient of the graph of the function, right? Y equals mx. M means minus 2 upon 3x. Are the right? So do you have any questions from that? page number 9, right? Graph of functions of the form y equals mx plus c, right? From here onwards, right? On your grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, right? You not grade 11, but up to grade 10, you will use y equals mx plus c. Then you go for the next function as well, right? Right now, y equals mx plus c is a linear function, right? And also y equals mx and y equals mx plus c, both of them are linear functions. And at the beginning of the class, in the pre-session seminar part 1, I told you guys how you identify a linear function. So the key is, right, the point is y equals mx, and you are going to identify this function as a linear function, right, by looking at the index of this x term, right? Here, right, you have the index as 1, x to the power 1, x to the power 1. So this is your linear function. Because our linear function, right? If x equals to 1, right, the power of x equals to 1, it is called a linear function. In your grade 10 and grade 11, you will, right, you will be familiarized with some kind of this, right? So in your grade 10 and 11, you will be familiarized with these kind of functions, right? So here it is x to the power 2, x to the power 2, right? So this is a quadratic function, right? Quadratic function, right? And when you go for your A level and after that, right, when you go for your higher studies, you will learn up to something like this, x to the power 3, blah blah blah, x to the power 4, so on and so forth. Right? Then you had a very interesting, right? Okay. So by looking at the power of x, the highest power will tell you which function is that, linear or quadratic or, right, cubic function or whatever, right? Right. Now you have been given, right? So we are going to learn about y equals mx plus c, right? This is the most important part. Right? In your exams, you will be having a question from this. Right? So, and one of the easiest questions, right? One of the easiest questions, right? Y equals mx plus c. So, in last week, right, I told you guys this is your independent variable. Independent now, there should be a dependent variable as well. X is called the independent variable. Right? Swaya. Kamato depend. Not depends on anyone. Right? So if you have an independent variable, you need to have a dependent variable as well. So this is your dependent variable. Right? Variable. Dependent on what? Dependent upon x. Right? Dependent upon x variable. Right? Then what is this m? You know that already, this is gradient. Y coordinate divided by x coordinate. Right? So when it comes to here, it differs a little bit. How to find gradient? Right? So I will let you know. What is this one? See, it is called the intercept. Intercept. What is intercept? What is intercept? What intercept take care? Right? So Yeah, intercept has been given under the equation y equals mx plus c. Correct. So here you have what is c, right? So basically c is, right, you can find from the graph, right? C is the point where the graph line crosses or intersects the y-axis, right? The graph or the line crosses or the intersects, right? Crosses the y-axis. Very easy, right? By looking at the point where the graph and the y-axis intersect, you can say, this is C. Where is C? Right? C can intersect. Intersect. So you can identify it directly by looking at the graph, right? In the questions, you will be having such things, right? They might ask, what is the intercept? By looking at the graph, you have to write. Sometimes they might give you the function and they might ask, what is the intercept and what is the gradient? So on and so forth. Right? So let's learn this. So the distance from the origin to the point where the graph line intersects the y-axis is called the intercept. Right? The intercept C can be positive or negative, right? So there are two sides of the y-axis, right? Upper from the origin, positive, below from the origin, negative. So we are going to measure the length, right? Distance from the origin to the point where the graph and the y-axis intersects. From the origin to the point, intersection point, right? It can be to the upper part, it can be to the lower part, right? If to the lower part, intercept is negative. If to the upper part, right, from the origin to the positive side of the y-axis, it is positive C, positive, right? Keep that in your mind. Right, can be positive or the depending on the intersection point of the y-axis. Right? So there is a little bit of exercise, yeah, below down there. Let us write down the gradient and intercept are positive or negative of the below sketches and mark them. Right. Okay. So first thing, now look at the board. Don't do anything. Huh? I will give you the time to write. One time make a. So this is the first figure. This is y-axis, this is my x-axis, and this is my graph, right? This is my graph. And below you have to write the sign of M and sign of intercept, right? So by looking at this graph, you can write the sign of M and the sign of C, sign of the gradient, sign of the intercept. So the U in the last week, right, on the poetic, right, seminar part 1 again, you learn how to identify the gradient, which is positive or negative, right? Is it positive or negative, right? If the angle with the positive direction of the x-axis is an acute one, the gradient is positive, right? If the graph line is forming a obtuse angle with the positive direction of the x, then the gradient is negative, right? So I will give a quick refresh on that, right? So here, right? So this is the angle, right? Now you have a graph line, right? Now you have a graph line like this, right? And the angle, this is called the angle, right? With the positive direction of the x-axis, I will take it as angle, right? Right? Angle. If this angle is acute angle, na? positive M. If this angle is obtuse, right? Obtuse with the positive direction. Now, always you have to get the angle size with positive direction of the x, not this side. This is wrong. Always you have to go for this side. You have to measure the angle this side, right? So acute angles, obtuse angles, right? Obtuse angles, acute angles, so on and so forth. Mean acute, obtuse, right? Obtuse. I think you can understand. If the angle is obtuse, this is negative wave. So Buddha, if you cannot remember this, please make sure that you have this, right? Actually, this angle is a positive direction of x, positive side of x, positive side of x. Oh, commonly, but I think you guys can understand, right? There is a graph line. Of that graph line, angle with the positive side of x is acute. Then you have positive wave. Angle of the positive side of x, if it is obtuse, the gradient is negative. So, Buddha, by looking at this, what you can say? This is an acute angle, right? This is an acute angle with the positive direction of x, right? Acute angle. So you can say M is positive. And where this graph crosses your y-axis? Here, point C. This is your C. This C is minus because this is the minus side of or the negative side of y-axis. M is positive, intercept is negative, right? Okay. So please write down this. So this is how we are going to identify acute angle with the positive direction of x-axis. So the gradient is positive. C crosses down there, right? This is C and it is negative. The value is negative, right? Second one. Now there is a pattern, right? Catch it. So you can understand this very easily. This X, this is Y. Again this one. With the positive direction of x-axis, right? This angle again, angle is acute. Where is your C intercept? Maybe here is your C. Is it positive or negative? Positive. So Buddha, M positive because acute angle. C also positive. Mean upper side of the origin. Correct? Next up. Right. This is your graph. This is your graph line. Right? Y, X. And what can you say about the angle that graph line is making or forming with the positive side of the x-axis? It is obtuse angle. Like a obtuse angle, right? Obtuse na gradient is negative. What about C? Where is your C? Graph line intersected Y. C. Is it positive or negative? Positive. So Buddha, fill the rest. There are three other things. Right. Hope you have done. Right. So the here, right, the graph line is like this. Right? So this angle is an obtuse angle with the positive direction of the x-axis, which is obtuse, right? And if obtuse, you have negative m. This is your C, the intersection point of the graph and the y-axis. It is negative, right? This one. What is this? Sorry, it is parallel. It is parallel to the x-axis. If the graph line is parallel to the x-axis, correct? If the graph line is parallel to the x-axis, are there any gradient? මොනවාරි gradient එකක් තියෙනවද? Can you find any subtended angle with the positive side of the direction x-axis, positive side of the x-axis? Can you find any subtended angles of your graph line with the positive side of the x-axis? Because this line is parallel to x. Parallel to x-axis. So in this kind of situations, right, normally if the graph is crossing your y-axis, you are writing it as y equals, right? So let's see, let's for an example, let's take this is 2 with a pointer to y equals 2. Normally you are writing y equals 2 nail. Y equals 2. Alright. So what has become to the mx term? So we are talking about mx plus c. Mx plus c. So this is your c, right? This is your c. This is your c. This is okay, right? But what happened to this term? This term has become 0, right? This graph does not cross the x-axis. So your gradient is 0. When we are 0, right? M is equal to 0, so that this whole term becomes 0, right? That is why we are writing. For an example, if I take this y-axis point is 2, you are writing this as y equals 2. If you can remember the last week, or last week, right? We are writing the function of this one as y equals 2. Why it would become like that? Because your gradient is equal to 0, because this line is parallel to x-axis and there is no specific angle which forms this graph, right? With the positive side of the x-axis. Right? graph මේකක් නැහැ. Right? Angle එකක් නැහැ. Angle එක 0, flat. So gradient becomes 0. So this is 0. What can you say about C? The line crosses y-axis. It is positive. Right? Crosses y-axis. Positive. Right? Next one. Right? So this line is parallel to y-axis. Parallel to y-axis, but it crosses through the x-axis. But it crosses through the x-axis. What is the angle which forms, right? Which it forms with the positive direction of the x-axis. What is the angle? It is exactly a perpendicular 90 degrees. So this is a special case. Make all in there, right? For your extra knowledge, I gave it to you guys. And normally we are writing this as x equals something. X equals 2. Right? So for an example, I will take this x value as 2. Right? X equals 2. X equals 2. There is no y because y-axis has not been crossed or intersect by that graph. Y has become 0. So if I write this behavior, right? So normally I am going to take this x equals 2. I am going to take this x. Sorry, I am going to take this 2 to this side, right? So you will have something like this: x minus 2 some equals 0, right? So this is kind of a equation of a graph. But here this is an special case, right? Where your right m cannot be defined. Actually m cannot be defined, right? But and also you cannot define the c as well because it does not process the y-axis, right? So this is an special case. So up to this point, they can ask from you guys in the exam. Right. So you cannot define. Actually, you can define, but it is advanced. Right. So this does not cross, and you cannot define at your level. So level define correct. Right. Right. So blanco වැරද්දයක්. Right. Right. Hope you have finished writing. Right. In these kind of things, actually, m becomes 1. And m එක 1 කියලා එනවා. Right. Sometimes it is positive 1, sometimes it is negative 1. Right. Better. Right. But if that part is not needed, right? Okay, guys. So I hope you have done this. Now we are going to an interesting part. Right? Next one, page number 10. Without drawing the graphs, find the gradient m, right? And the intercept c of the following functions. Right? So very interesting. So you know what is the type of graph y equals mx plus c. Right? You know the type of graph is y equals mx plus c. Y equals mx plus c. You need to keep that in your mind. So now by looking at the graph, you know how to say my m is positive or negative, my c is positive or negative. You know that part. But now they have given you, right? They have given you the function as y equals mx plus c, blah blah blah. Right? Now by looking at the function, you are going to identify what is my gradient, what is my intercept. Right? So shall we do the first one? So the first one, y equals 2x plus 3, right? The first step that you need to do is පළවෙනි step එක තමයි, right? You need to make sure that you have exact form y equals mx plus c in this. You need to verify you have the form of y equals mx plus c. Y equals mx plus c. Correct? Right. I'm going to write this. Right. Now I have y here, right? Done. I have m here, done. I have x here, done. I have c here, right? With plus c, done. So by looking at this, I can write down the gradient. M equals, this is actually positive 2. It would be better if you can write positive 2, right? Positive 2. M. C, what is your C? Positive 3. Right? Positive 3. By looking at this, you can directly write. Right? Please write down this one. Right. I hope you have finished writing. Right? Now look at the book. Right? I am going to check whether this is in y equals mx plus 4. Mx plus c4. Right? So here you have minus 3. Y is okay. M is called minus 3. X okay. Okay. Plus c. Okay. So your gradient m equals minus 3. C equals, it would be better if you can write as positive 5. Positive 5. Right? Done. Please write this one. Right. Third one. Oops. No, I am not going to do the third one right now. Right? Try to obtain the answers for third one. Right? Chat done. Please send the answers to the chat. 5 upon 7 x minus 2. Then I will do. Right? Tankala answers for the third one. Y equals 5 upon 7 minus. I will explain this. Right? Y equals 5 upon 7 x minus 2. Now we need to check whether this is in y equals mx plus c form. So y m, yes, okay. X okay. Here you have plus c. Instead of plus c you have minus 2. So c equals to minus 2. Plus into minus 2, right? So now this is in y equals mx plus c. So basically c equals to minus 2. Mama mehema කියලා දෙන්න යන්නේ නැහැ, right? පොඩි ළමයින්ට වැඩක් නැහැ, right? So m equals 5 upon 6. C equals minus 2. If you have here minus 2, yes, C equals minus 2, right? Because positive into negative, negative. Right? This one, yeah, what the way? Minus y equals minus x plus c. Minus x plus c. So shall we check this? Y equals m x plus c. Y not okay. Because here you have positive y, negative y. Here you have negative y. Okay? M, yes, you can find a number for m here. X okay, c okay, but y not okay. So we have to make sure that we have positive y here. So Buddha, we are going to convert this, right? Here you have minus y equals minus x plus c. How you are going to make sure that you have positive y instead of minus y? How you are going to convert this? Do you have any idea? Nilan send me the answers. Yeah, super. Right, excellent. Yeah. Right. So Buddha, මෙතන you have minus y. What is the coefficient of y? What is the coefficient of y? There is a hidden number here. That hidden number is 1. So that you can write this as minus 1 times y here. Okay? Minus 1 times y minus y. Here, minus 1 times y minus y. Done. Right? So this is the coefficient. Minus 1. You are going to divide whole equation. You are going to divide whole equation by using minus 1. Here you have minus 1. Divide this term by minus 1. Divide this term by minus 1. Divide this term by minus 1. Correct? So finally you will get the answer as negative, negative, positive, negative, negative, positive, right? Positive divided by negative, negative. Alright, keep that in mind. So here y divided by 1 y, right? Here positive, positive, right? Then x divided by 1 x. Positive divided by negative, right? It will give you negative, right? Negative c. So now is this in y equals mx plus c form? Yes, right? Y equals mx plus c. Instead of plus c, you have minus c. I told you guys here. Right? So what is m? Coefficient of x. You know me, b. Right? Coefficient of y minus y, but here coefficient of x is 1. Right? So no need to mention that. So you can write m equals positive 1. C equals minus c. Right? C equals minus c. Done. But do the fifth one. Right? බලපොතේ කොහොම හරි gradient නෙමෙයි graph ගාන කරන්න ඕන exam එකේදී එච්චරයි ආයේ වෙන මොකුත් නැහැ. හරි මේකෙදි කරේ නැතත් මේ knowledge එක use කරන්න grade 10 වලටයි grade 11 වලටයි ගොඩ දාගන්න මේක. හරිද? හැමෝම මෙහෙම explanation දෙන්නෙත් නැහැ සමහර වෙලාවට. හරි? හරිද? හැමෝටම එහෙම ඉගෙන ගන්න chance එකක් නැහැ. හරි? සමහරක් ඒවා තියෙනවා. ඒවා හැමෝටම ඉගෙන ගන්න බෑ. ඒවා හැමෝම කියලා දෙන්න. හරිද? මම කියලා දුන්නේ අර ඉස්සෙල්ලා අර parallel line එක ආපුවම කොහොමද explain කරේ? කොහොමද m එන්නේ? කොහොමද m0 වෙන්නේ? කොහොමද c එන්නේ? So on and so forth, right? So okay. Fifth one. Y plus 7x. Send me the answer for this one. Make it out. Right? Fifth one your answer stuck on done. That's the Nilanda got the answer for the that one, huh? Okay, Yevit is saying me okay, nice. Let's take the answer. What about others? උදේ තේරුම් නැත්තම් අහන්න. හරි? Yeah. උදේ තේරුම් නැත්තම් අහන්න කොහේ හරි අවුලක් තියෙනවා නම් හරිද? මොකද අනිත් සෙට් එකේ සද්දයක්වත් නැහැ. උත්තර දාන්නෙත් නැහැ සෙට් එක. සෙනුත් මි යමි දසඳුල් මහිෂ අවිෂ රිදි කොහා දාන්නේ නැහැ රිදි. answers. මොකද කරන්නේ? කොහේ හරි ඉතින් ගිහිල්ලක් දන්නේ නැහැ රාව මොකක්වත්. පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න. රිති then ආරාධ්‍ය and රණෝදි ඉන්නවනේ. ඉන්න. ඔය answers එකක් නැහැ නේ බා. කවුද තේමිය සඳලු අමාරුද තේරෙන්නේ නැද්ද මේ? ඈ අඩේ ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න ඕනේ. හොඳයි. මේ අනිත් අය උත්තර බලලා දාන්න එහෙම එපා බැරි වෙලාවත්. හරිද? එයා වැරදි. හරි ඕකේ පුතේ ඕකේ. I will discuss. මේ what is here මේක දැකපු ගමන් උත්තරේ කියවේ right. So Uda, you need to make sure that you have y equals mx plus c and this is not in the form of y equals mx plus c. You need so that you need to convert it into y equals mx plus c. හරිද? So Uda, so here you have plus 7x, so you are going to take it to the other side. Y equals minus 7x, sorry, minus 3. Minus 7x minus c. So this is in y equals mx plus c. Right? So by looking at this, this is m, this is c. M equals minus 7, c equals minus 3. C equals minus 3. Right, done. Then so next one, sixth. I hope you guys have done, right? Maybe Ivarna, so you guys can continue. Hurry. So sixth one, I will do. Let us call me. Me patta is here. Me patta AC y equals same as the previous. Hurry, same as the previous. So Uda, me minus 5x take it to the other side. Hurry. So that you will have minus y equals positive 5x plus 8. But this is still not in the form of y equals mx plus c. So I am going to divide this term by 1. If you divide this term by minus 1, you have to divide this term by minus 1 and this term by minus 1 also. Right? Negative to negative, positive. Y equals, here you have positive 5, positive divided by negative, negative 5x. Positive divided by negative, negative 8. So the y equals mx plus c. So you can write m equals minus 5, c equals minus 8. So if you have these answers, yes, you are correct. Okay, so that part is over. Right, let's move to the next one. Right. So before beginning, right, of the next part, we have some important point that you need to remember. Make a pattata මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. හරිද? And if you can remember in the last week paper discussion, right, on Sunday, right, what we have on Sunday, right, we discussed the full question from this y equals mx plus c. ඒ ගානක් අපි complete සාකච්ඡා කරා. Right, we discussed it to the top. හරිද? So පුතා, yeah, I have received more answers, right? Yeah, great. Super. Right. So this point will be very important, right? Wherever you go. හරිද? ඔයාලා campus ගියත්, ගෙදර හිටියත්, A level කරත්, රට ගියත්, right? ඔය this important point will be important. හරිද? So let's read it. If the gradient m is equal to the same value, the gradient is equal to the same value and the intercept differs, right? Intercept එක differ වෙනවා නම්, right? While the intercept differs but m remains same, right? Intercept differs, right? Intercept එක fluctuate වෙනවා. C is fluctuating between values, but right, but m is a constant. M is the same value for each and every c, right? Each and every c, m is equal, right? So for an example, when m equals -2, c gets something like c gets 1, right? Then c differs, c equals 5, but m remains, m equals -2. C equals 10, m is -2. C equals let's say -12, no, positive 12, m -2, right? Each and every time m remains same value. But C differs, ne? So those kind of situation we are calling those lines, right? Those lines are parallel to each other because m remains same. The angle which creates with the positive axis of the positive direction of the x-axis is same. Each and every time same angle. Right? So m is constant, right? So now you have a 50% idea what I am telling. මේ මොකද්ද මේ එයා කියුවා. හරිද? මොකක් හරියක් කියුවා, right? Let's see what happens. Right? So shall we do the example number 1? Now look at the board. Now focus on the board. මේක පට්ට වැදගත්, right? There will be a question, right? මේක අහනවා තමයි. මේක අහනවා තමයි. Example number 1, page 11, right? Right. Draw the following graphs on the same Cartesian plane using a suitable value range for x. Right? Draw the following graphs on the same Cartesian plane using a suitable value range for x. So, Buddha, it would be better if you can use a different paper or different like graph papers to draw these functions, right, on the Cartesian plane. So, I will draw this y equals 2x plus 3 and y equals 2x and y equals 2x minus 1. So before that, I need to obtain the value series, right? So y equals 2x plus 3, right? And then I have y equals 2x and y equals 2x minus 1. So I am going to fill my table. This is my x range. I will choose my x range as like -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2. Correct? Because here I have a whole number. Here I have a whole number, not a fraction, so that I will use, right? I will use -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2 as my x value range. Are then -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Right. Now, can you remember something that I told you earlier? Can you remember something that I told you earlier? What is that? The thing that I told you earlier is, you need to show the workings that you are going to do to obtain the coordinates or ordered pairs of this function. To draw this function on a Cartesian plane, you need to show the workings. So, Buddha, I am going to create this part when my right hand side inside this table. So, I have decided my x range -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2. Then I am going to create this one. Right? So, this is 2x. Okay. 2 times x. Okay. And if you get, after you get in the 2x, for that value, for this value, you are going to add 3. you are going to add 3. So the next one will be plus 3. Always you are going to add 3. So each and every time you are going to add 3 to this value. To this value add 3. To this value add 3. To this value add 3. To this add 3. Add 3. Right? So this is this continues like this. Ah. So this whole expression equals to y. Right? This whole expression equals to y. So if you get the addition of these two values, it equals to y. So now this is the end of the table 1. Right. So guys, I am going to fill the table. So instead of x, I am going to substitute minus 2. Right? So positive into negative, negative. 2 times 2, 4. Here you have positive 2, positive into negative, negative. Instead of x, I am going to substitute 1. Right? 2 times 1, 2. This is 0. If you substitute 0, the whole thing becomes 0. Here you have positive 1. Doesn't matter. 2 times 1, 2. Here you have positive 2. 2 times 2, 4. For this value, you are going to add 3. Minus 4 plus 3. Two directed numbers in minus 1. Right? II is the negative number. So it the sign of II is assigned to this one. Right? So here II is positive. So positive 1. 0 plus 3. 0 plus 3, 3. 2 plus 3, 5. 4 plus 3, 7. Right? So now for drawing this function on a Cartesian plane, I will be needing minus 2 minus 1 minus 1 plus 1 0 comma 3 1 5 2 7. So these are the ordered values, ordered pairs of values that I needed to draw. Right? Okay. So I will write it somewhere around here, right? So y equals 2x plus 3. If I want to draw this, reference right? So minus 2 minus 1. First point is minus 2 minus 1. Then second point is minus 1 positive 1. 0 comma 3 next point. 1 comma 5. So ඔබලා මේ ඔයාලට පුළුවන් නම් අඳින්න. right? මේ ටික ටක් ගාලා කාටිසියන් ප්ලේන් එක අඳින්නකො. right? 2 comma 7. right? You guys can draw it in a separate place and take that separate page and paste it here. මෙතන අලව ගන්න. right? මෙතන පොඩි ඉඩක් තියලා දෙනවනේ. එතනින් අලව ගන්න. ඒකම මෙතන පොඩි ඉඩක් තියලා තියෙනවා. So you guys can paste it there. Right. Okay. Now so that is done. Next one is y equals 2x. Right? Y equals 2x. So I will use this space. No, I will do it here. Y equals 2x. Right. Okay. Now I am going to prepare my table. X. So next we have 2x. Right? This one. Then this equals to y. So x value range is same because we have decided it. We decide karane already. X is minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. So we are going to fill this table. Right. So very easy. Then this is nothing. Y equals to x. So I'm going to substitute. Positive into negative, negative. 2 comes here. 2 times 2, 4. Positive into negative, negative. 2 times 1, 2. 0 and 0. Positive. Right. So 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 2, 4. Right? So this equals minus 4, minus 2, 0, 2 and 4. So I will write the coordinates that I needed to write or needed to draw the y equals 2x function minus 2 minus 4. Right? Minus 1 minus 2. Right? Then 0 comma 0. So you can draw this before me or with me. Right? It is up to you. Yeah, right? You can draw this with me or before me. Right? Try to finish this before me. Sometimes you might have done. Right? So next one. Y equals 2x minus 1. Y equals 2x minus 1. So with the same value x value series, right? Minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. So I am going to fill the table. Right? So here this term should be added here 2x and also this term, right? And we are going to negate 1 from that 2x. Then I can obtain y. Final answer. Right. So here you have minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. It is a constant at C. So here positive into negative, negative 2 times 2, 4, right? So the same values repeat. Same values repeat. Minus 2, right? Minus 2, 0, 2 and 4. You know how to obtain me. Same value series for 2x. Minus 1. Minus 4 plus minus 1 minus 5 minus 2 plus minus 1 minus 3 same size. So I have to add, you have to add here minus 1 2 minus 1 1 4 minus 1. So if I want to draw the y equals 2x minus 1 function, right, I need to have minus 2 comma minus 5, right, minus 1 comma minus 3, right, then 0 comma minus 1, then 1 comma 1, then 2 comma 3. So I hope now you have completed the tables. Now you have completed the table. Guys, do you need a break? Break क्या corner? Right. So I will clear this. Do you need a break? I can do this all day. Avengers බලලා තියෙනවා Avengers. Avengers එකේ Captain America කියන්නේ මොකක් හරි ඒ වගේ. I can do this all day හරි මොකක් හරි කියලා. මට මේක හැම වෙලේම කර කර ඉන්න පුළුවන් කියන්නේ. නේ? Okay. I hope you guys have may fill the table lah. It look like no one needs a break. Super. හරි super set එක නේ. හරි ඕම වැඩ ගන්න පුළුවන් නම් පට්ට. හැබැයි ඉතින් මම දන්නේ නැහැ ඉතින් කැමරාව ඔෆ් කරලා දී. හරි. අල්ලපු ගෙදර කවුද අපේ යාළුවා ගෙදියාට ගිහිල්ලා මචං කොහොමද කියලා අහලා ඉන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරි. හරි. right guys. Okay. So ඒ තරමට වෙලාව දිනනවා. හරි. Right. Okay, so let's start. Okay, Muthi. Now I am going to draw this in a Cartesian plane, right? Before drawing a particular graph, right? Before drawing a particular graph in the Cartesian plane, what I need to do? I need to check what? I need to check what? Value series of x, right? To identify the range of the value series. And I need to identify the range of y-axis as well. identify the range of x-axis, identify the range of y-axis. So we know already the x-axis is differs or varies in between -2 and +2. So we define the value series -2 and +2. So we know that. Correct? So Buddha, if we use the good practice, -3 to +3, x-axis. Y-axis, let's check the values. Here, -1, right? The lowest value is -1, maximum is y is 7, +7. Here, -2, +4, -2%, -4, +4, -5, +3. So to the top, I have to draw the y-axis up to 8, +8. Below, I have to draw the y-axis up to -5. Right? Big range. Right? Okay, so I have to get from here, right? Right? Is it blur? I will use this method. So this is my y-axis. Right? Then this is my x-axis. Alright. So here I will mark 1, 2, up to +3. Here 1, 2, 3. It would be better if you can use graph paper, sir. -1, -2, -3. Positive side of y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So for if I use the good practice, this is the maximum value in the range. So I will mark up to 8. Right? For the positive side. Negative side up to -5, up to -6, I will mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Right. Okay. So, yes, I am going to mark this first term. -2, -1. -2, -1, it is C. -1, +1. Somewhere around here. 0, 3. Here. 1, 5. 2, 7. Right? 2. Somewhere around here. Right. Now I can join the points. If you want, you can explain. Now, you need to identify this graph. What is this graph? You need to identify. So, you need to make sure that you name it. Right? So, this is my y equals 2x plus 3. This is my y equals 2x plus 3 graph. Then I am going to draw y equals 2x, right? Y equals 2x, right? So the first point is -2 -4. -2 -4 somewhere around here. -1 -2. 0, 0. 1, 2. 2, 4. 2, 4 and 2, 4 here. Then -2 -5. Sorry. Then that is next one. So I will join the line. Right. So now this is my y equals 2x. Y equals 2x. Then next up, -2 -5. -2 -5 is somewhere around here. Right. Then -1 -3. Then 0 -1. 0 -1 somewhere around here. Please mute, right? Okay. Then 1, 1, right? 1, 1, then 2, 3. So 2 and 3 is here. Right. So I will join the point. Right. Some of you guys might have drawn this one before me. So I need to identify this function in this graph. So you need to make sure that you have named it. 2x minus 1. Make a number. Name. Now, right. Now, what is the special thing that you can identify by looking at this? What is the special thing that you can identify by looking at this? What is the special thing? Right? What can you see? Right? What can you see? What is the special thing that you can identify? Right? All of these three lines are parallel. Right? All of these three lines are parallel. Right? All of these three lines are parallel. And if you draw that, you can identify. Right? You need to check whether your graphs are parallel or not. Your graphs are parallel or not. So you can see these three lines are parallel together. Right? So if you consider the three functions 2x plus 3, as I mentioned in the important point, under the important point, right? What can you say? Right? If I get the form of y equals mx plus c, what can you say about the m? M is same. Here, this is y equals mx. Normally, plus 0. Plus 0. C is varying. Time to time, C is varying. But m remains same. Right? M equals 2. Right? But C equals first time 3, 0, then -1. But m remains 2. If the gradient does not change of a given function, right, those lines are parallel. Please write it, very important, right? Under example number 1, please write it, right? important point here. So you have to remember this. If the gradient, or else we can refer up to let's say m does not change, right? Does not change, then the graph lines are parallel. If m does not change, your graph lines are parallel. Uday, did you finish writing? Under this or top of this, you can write this one as well, right? You have to show C is varying time to time, but M remains same each and every time. Correct? You can understand right? If you see in the question paper, you can identify, this is nothing in this. We have done this one. Right? Right. Guys, before moving to the next one, right? Do you need a break? Again, I am asking. Right. Let's go to the next part. Right. Example number 2. Now you know how to write down parallel lines. If you have parallel lines, right, your gradient is fixed, does not change. Same gradient, m is fixed, but you might have different c's, different intercepts. C might change time to time. So let's see. Example number 2. Write down two parallel functions for y equals 3x minus 8. Very easy. Neither. This is where the y-axis intersect at minus 8. So you might take like this. Right? 3x. So it does not change. 3x. Right? Same thing. Same thing. But intercept change. Right? You are going to write down two parallel lines for this. You can write down infinite number of parallel lines for this one because you know the theory now. Theory ka dannawa ne. Ada game up nahe. Here minus 8. So I will write positive 8. Another one. Y equals 3x. Does not change. 3x. Negative 1. Y equals 3x. Positive 2. Right? Blah blah blah. Right up. Clear. Because of the parallel lines, right? Gradient does not change. M 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. But C changes, right? And the parallel line which goes through the origin, C becomes 0. Y equals 3x. Right? This line is equal to y equals mx 4. Mx now, it goes through the origin of the Cartesian plane, right? C becomes 0. C is 0. Here you have C 0. Correct? So these are the examples. Okay. Example number 3. Write down three parallel lines function for the function y equals minus 2x plus 7. Alright. First one, the graph line goes through the origin. Alright. Example number 3. So they have given, right? These kind of questions can be there in your exam. These kind of questions can be there in your exams. Harry? Harry? Right, then example number 3, part 1. Right? In the part 1, they are asking the graph line goes through the origin. Right? So the function that they have given is y equals minus 2x plus 7. Minus 2x plus 7. Harry? So now what you have here is minus 2x plus 7, and you need to write down the given three functions for this, which are parallel for this line. So if this is parallel, minus 2x won't change, right? Y equals minus 2x, right? In the first one, that this line goes through the origin. This line goes through the origin. So if this line goes through the origin, c becomes 0, right? So I can write. So for your understanding, right? If the line goes through the, keep this in your mind. If the line goes through the origin, correct? Then c becomes 0. C equals 0. So you can write y equals minus 2x. Here you have seen it. C becomes 0, right? C becomes 0, right? So this is the line goes through the origin. Goes through the origin. Then second one, the graph line goes through the point 0, 3. What is that? Right? Point is given 0, 3. Point is given 0, 3. So this is your x coordinate and this is your y coordinate. Now understand this one. Right? Please understand this. Right? So this graph crosses through the 0.03 point. This line crosses through the 0.3 point. So that means this graph crosses the y-axis at 3. So the gradient is minus 2, right? Gradient is minus 2, so that this is an obtuse angle, right? Obtuse angle, right? So this graph goes through the 0.3 line. 0.3 is on the y-axis, right? 0.3 point is on the y-axis, so it crosses through the 3. What is the meaning of 3? 3 is equal to c. C means intercept. So intercept is equal to 3 because it is the y coordinate, mean 0, 3. This graph goes through the c, right? Or 3. C equals 3. So you can write the parallel line for this one, right? C equals 3. Right? Intercept or c equals 3. So this c becomes 3. So y equals minus 2x, because minus 2x does not change because it is parallel, right? And if that graph goes through c, which is 0.3, 0, 3, right? So 3 is the intercept. So plus 3, it is plus 3. 0, 3 is plus 3. So y equals minus 2x plus 3, right? Right. The graph line goes through the point 0, minus 1, right? Third one. For the second one, if you want, you can draw this one as well. For the second one, if you want, you can draw this one as well. So this should be your answer. Right? Right. So third one, the graph line goes through the point 0, 1. Our point is given. Point is 0, -1. -1. Right? So by looking at this is the x coordinate and this is the y coordinate. So y axis intersect with -1. Right? Y axis intersect with -1. Right? So we are going to write down the parallel line for this. Right? So we can say your C or the intercept equals -1. C equals -1. So y equals -2x. Now it is parallel. -2x plus C. Plus C, instead of C, I am going to put -1. Right? -1. So that this line will be something like this. Right? Actually, this is not needed. I am drawing that for your knowledge. Right? So this is -2x. Definitely a obtuse angle with the positive direction of the x-axis. And it crosses through -1. -1 is here on the y-axis. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, and -1 is somewhere around here. And this goes through here. Right? So this is an obtuse angle which is -2x. Is the gradient, right? So it is some kind of a graph like this, maybe graph. Right? So this is your parallel line which goes through the point 0, 1. 0, -1. Right? Y axis crosses through -1. Then you can write C equals -1. Then you can write the parallel line where your -2x is same as like this. Right? Y equals -2x -1. Right? Yes. So done. Right. Now another important part. Correct. Now another important part. We are going to convert, right, ax plus by plus c equals 0 form functions in the form of y equals mx plus c. Right? In the page number 12. Right. Page number 12. Right. Page number 12. Arrange the following ax plus by plus c equals 0 functions in the form of y equals mx plus c. You know how to do this one. Previously, we did something similar to this. Right? We arrange y equals mx plus c form. Right? In a different equations that we had earlier. Right? Right? So Buddha, this is same as like that. And so I will do the first part. Right? So now 3x plus 2y minus 3 equals 0. Now this is in the form of, right, ax plus by plus c equals 0. Right? Now this is in the form of this ax plus by plus c equals 0. Right? Now we are going to convert this whole thing into y equals mx plus c. Right? If you know the lesson formula lesson එක දන්නවනම්, right? If you know the lesson formula, this is nothing, මේක nothing. මේක ගේමක් නෑ. හරි? මේ here you have been given a function, right? Or an formula, and they are asking make y as the subject. Make y as the subject. on the other hand, right? This is how we are find the value of y. How we are solving for y, right? You are going to solve for y. You are going to find the solution for y. For y value, right? මම ඔය ආකාර ඔක්කොගෙම කිව්වේ same thing. You need to make y as the subject. හරිද? So this is it. So පුතා, what you have to do if you want to convert this into this, right? So first of all, here you have 2y. You are going to isolate y in your left hand side. So you need to remove this 3x and this 3x. You need to take them to your right hand side. Right? Right hand side. So here you will have 2y. Right? At once I am going to take minus 3 to this side, positive 3x to this side. Positive 3x, if you take it to the right hand side, positive becomes negative, negative 3x. Now this is done. Here you have minus 3. At once I am going to take it to my right hand side. Here positive 3, sorry, negative 3. It becomes positive 3. Now this is still not in the form of y equals mx plus c. If you want to convert this into y equals mx plus c, you need to remove this 2 as well. Right? You need to remove that 2 as well. Right? At once I took this term to this side, right? This term to that side, right hand side, this term to right hand side at once. Positive minus 3x, right? Negative 3, positive 3. So I want to remove this 2. So divide by 2. This side divide by 2. This side divide by 2. Each and every number term you need to divide by 2. 2 times 1. 2 times 1. So y equals minus 3 upon 2x plus 3 upon 2. So this is in y equals mx plus c. Right, now it is in y equals mx plus c. Please guys write down this mail. If you finish writing, please let me know. Right. Try to do the second one. Try to do the second one. Three upon 4 minus 1 upon 4 y plus 8 equals 0. Right? Please convert this into y equals mx plus c form. I will give you 2 minutes. If you have converted, you can send me the answer. Right, let's see who finishes first. 1 minute remaining. Sananu has sent me the answer. Okay, near. But let's see let's check the answer. What about others? What about others? Anitya, Ritik, okay. Sanalu got the first place, huh? Super. Ritik, second place. කෝ ගෑනු ළමයි නැද්ද? මේ ගෑනු ළමයි එවන්න. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඕනම ක්ලාස් එකක සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගෑනු ළමයි තමයි දක්ෂ කියලා කට්ටිය කියන්නේ. ඒක තමයි කට්ටිය කියන්නේ. හරි. Let's see, let's see. The third place, Senukmi. Fourth place, Lesandul. Okay. So I'll discuss. So guys, you have to convert this into your y equals mx plus c form, right? So I need to remove this term and I need to remove this term. Now we are in advanced mode නේ. අපි පොඩ්ඩක් advanced නේ. We know one thing or two නේ. අපි යම් කිසි දෙයක් දන්නවා. Right? So at once I am going to take this term to my right hand side. At once I am going to take this term to my right hand side as well. හරිද? This is positive 3 upon 4 and this is positive 8. When it goes to the other side, right hand side of the equal mark, it automatically becomes negative. Hariද? So in my left hand side, I only have 1 minus 1 upon 4 y equals blah blah blah. Right here, first thing made minus 3 upon 4 x plus 8. Take it to the other side, minus 8. Right now, this is still not in the form of y equals mx form. So here you have minus 1 upon 4. Minus 1 upon 4, right? I want to remove the minus sign. I want to remove the 4. Right? How do we do? Both at once. Right? If you want to waste your time, first of all, you can divide all of the 3 terms by minus. Right? If you want, you can divide all of the 3 terms by minus 1 first. Right? And then you are going to multiply all the 3 terms by 4. Right? You are wasting 2 steps. You are wasting 2 steps. Sorry, to remove these 2, minus and 4. I will do like this. I can convert this minus sign into a positive sign by multiplying by minus 1. And I can remove this 4 by multiplying by 4. So that I am going to multiply each and every term by minus 4 at once. Right? Minus 4 multiplied by minus 1 upon 4. Right? Y equals. Here I have minus 3 upon 4. Multiplied by minus 4. Here I have minus 8. Minus 8 multiplied by minus 4. හරිනේ තේරුණානේ? Did you guys understand? එච්චර මේ කල්පනා කරන්න එපා. Right? I need to remove minus sign. I need to remove 4. Right? 4 is in the denominator. So I need to multiply the 4 each and every term by 4 if I want to remove this 4. Right? And if I want to remove minus, I need to multiply this each and every term by minus as well. So that I use minus 4 at once. Right? So minus into minus, positive. 4 times 1, 4 times 1. Now I have here all is y. Here I have minus into minus, positive. 4 times 1, 4 times 1. So 3x. Minus into minus, positive. 4 times 8, 32. Why you guys miss this 32? අට වැඩි කරලා නැහැ අන්තිමට කොහෙද ගිහින් අට I do not, I am not sure about the answer. Let's take that. Right? But however, you guys send me the answer. That's what I put. So it is an appreciation for you guys. But I told you guys I am not sure about the answer. But this should be the answer. Okay. 4 times 8, 32. හතරවල් චක්‍රය බෑ. මොකද කරන්නේ? යන්න දෙකේ තුනේ පන්තිය යන්න. ගිහිල්ලා ආයෙන්න හතරවල් චක්‍රය කියලා. Okay පුතා. So this is it. Guys, did you understand this? මේක තේරුණාද? තේරුම් නැත්නම් කියන්න. තේරුණාද? තේරුණාද? Understood. Understood the තේරුණාද? Do the third one. තේරුම් නැත්නම් තේරුම් නැහැ කියන්න. මේ right නැත්නම් otherwise I will continue. මේකට ආපු එකේ වැඩක් ගන්න නැහැ. Okay, lesson rule has sent me the answer for the third one as well. Okay, let's see. Let's see. If you have any questions, you can ask from me. Arif. නමුත් ළමයි 100 නේ 500ක් විදිහට මම කියනවා ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න කියලා ප්‍රශ්න අහන වෙලාවට. හරි. එච්චර නෑ හරි. එච්චර නෑ. යමු. නොමිලේ කරන එකෙන් තියෙන ළමයි 10ක්වත්. right? ළමයි 10ක් විතර නොමිලේ කරන එකෙන් තියෙන කොහේ ළමයි 100ක් නේ. Okay, පුතා. So, third one. 4x plus 3y plus 5 equals 0, so that I need to make sure that I have the y equals mx plus c form. Right? So this is already in ax plus by plus c equals 0 form. I need to convert this into y equals mx plus c form. So I need to isolate this y. So I have extra two forms, two terms. Minus 4x when it goes to the other side, plus 4x, plus 5 is going to the other side, minus 5. So at once I can write 3y equals 4x minus 5. So I need to remove this 3, divide all the terms by 3. පට්ට AC මේක. මේ පට්ටම ලේසි, right? මේ 4.3 කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. මේක සුපිරි ගා, right? Right. So this should be your answer. Yeah, lesson rules answer is correct. Nimit's one is correct. Okay, very good. Right. Now Buddha මෙන්න මේක, right? This the next one. ඕක පට්ට වැදගත්, right? In last week in the paper discussion class also I did the same thing under the graph question. Graph question again, they have asked this thing, right? One of the things that you might get in your exam, right? Find the 2 points of the graph which intersects the axis x-axis and the y-axis. එදාම short note එකකුත් දුන්නා ඒගොල්ලන්ට. ඒක කොහොමද කරන්න කියලා. හරිද? Find the 2 points of the graph which intersects the x-axis and the y-axis, right? So in this kind of situation, you are not going to draw the graph, right? They are telling not drawing the graph, right? Find the points which intersects, right, the x-axis and the y-axis of the graph. Now they ask you, don't draw the graph, but you have to find the points which graph intersects the x-axis and the y-axis. Right? You need to find it. Very simple tip is there. Right? So here I have given an important tip. So if you want to find the intersection point of x-axis, what you need to do? In any given function, substitute y equals 0. where you can see y in the function, substitute 0. Y 0 karo. Then x value can be found, right? X value can be found. Then you can write the intersection point of x-axis like following, right? The value you are finding for the x-axis, x value, right, comma 0, because the y value is equal to 0, right? So x comma 0, that is the intersection point of x-axis of the relevant function, given function. Then if you want to find the y-axis intersection point, same thing. In the given function, you have to do the opposite thing. You are going to find y in it, then equate x equal to 0, right? Substitute x equals 0. Then you can find the y value, right? So then you can write down the points which are intersecting the y-axis as 0, comma y value, 0, comma y. Right? Then mark these 2 points on x-axis and y-axis and join them to obtain the graph line. Right? If you mark these 2 points on a Cartesian plane, and then if you join those 2 lines together, you can draw the graph easily. What a lazy. You need only 2 points to draw a graph, to draw a linear graph. Y equals mx plus c. Only 2 points are needed. These 2 points are this x-axis intersection point and y-axis intersection point. So let's do some examples. Right. So right below I have given some examples. Right. So we are going to find. Right. Page number 12. Right. So now focus on the board. Board I will do the first round. If you can understand the important tip, you can do right what I have given here. Right. Right. Okay. Y equals 2x plus 3. Right. So here we have examples for each of the function given below. Find the coordinates of the point at which the graph of the function intersects the two axes and plot the graph of each function using the 2 points. You have to plot the graph as well. So it would be better if you can use a separate page, and you can find the values and plot the graph, right? Sketch. You can sketch the graph, and later you can cut that paper and you can paste it here. That's මෙතන අලව ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරි? Right. So the first one. Examples. First one. Y equals 2x plus 3. Y equals 2x plus 3. Right. Now I am going to find the intersection point of x-axis. Right. මෙතන you are going to find the x-axis. Right. You are going to find the x-axis. If you are going to find the x-axis value, what should you do? You need to make sure you have y equals 0, right? Intersection point of x-axis. Right? Substitute y equals 0. I will say this is 1 now. Make 1 කියන මට හැමතිස්සෙම මේ එක ලියන්න බැරිද? Substitute y equals 0 in 1. Very easy නේ. මෙතන නැත්තම් මේ හැල්ලම ලියන්න ඕනේ, right? ඔක්කොම ලියන්න බෑ පුතේ. හරි. Now substitute y equals 0 in 1, right? So this is 1. Sorry, yeah, this is 1 function y equals 2x plus 3. Instead of y, I am going to substitute 0 equals 2x plus 3. So you are going to find the value of 2x plus 3, right? Now, if you take this positive 3 to this side, right, it becomes negative 3, right? So you can write this negative 3 equals 2x. Hope you can understand. Here positive 3, you are going to take it to the other side of the equal mark. Positive 3 goes to this side, minus 3. So Buddha, if you want to find the value of x, you are going to divide both sides by 2. Both sides by 2. 2 times 1, 2 times 1. So the x equals negative 3 divided by 2. Right? In another way, this is negative 1.5. Negative 1.5. Right? Now, intersection point of x-axis can be written down as minimum x comma y. This is the ordered pair. Right? So how do we write this? What is the value of x? Minus 3 upon 2 or minus 1.5 comma y value 0. Right? Then intersection point of x-axis done. Now we are going to find intersection point of y-axis. Intersection point of y-axis. If you are going to find the y-axis, then substitute x equals 0. In one, our function. Right? So our function is y equals 2x plus 3. Instead of x, I am going to substitute 0. If you substitute 0 here, this whole term becomes 0. Neither. So that y equals 3. Okay? So you can write down the intersection point, right? Like this. X comma y. X is 0. Y equals 3. What I see? Like right? What I see, right? So now these are the points. This is the point cross x-axis. Right? Intersection point of x-axis. This is the intersection point of y-axis. Right? Now how you are going to plot? Y-axis, x-axis, y-axis, x-axis. What is the intersection point of x-axis? Minus 3 upon 2. That means minus 1.5 comma 0 in the method. So I will take this is 1. Right? So this is 2. Right? Minus 1 and minus 2. In between these two, I have the intersection point of x-axis. This is your minus 3 upon 2 comma y. Sorry, 0. Right? This is the point. Minus 3 upon 2 comma 0 point. This is it. Correct? In between these two, because minus 3 upon 2 means minus 1.5. In another one, minus 1.5 is in the middle of the minus 2 and minus 1. Correct? Now it is here. Y-axis point 0, 3. So I will take somewhere around here. This is my 3. So this is the intersection point, right? So the coordinate of this is x-axis 0, y-axis 3. Right? Now by joining these two lines, you can plot the graph. So you can say this is your y equals 2x plus 3 graph. Right? What I see. Make a look right? First of all, intersection point of x-axis, substitute y equals 0, then find x-axis coordinate. Then intersection point of y-axis, substitute x equals 0 in the function. Then find y. Then mark both of them in the Cartesian plane like this, roughly, rough. No need to draw in actual length, right? Because they are saying plot the graph, plot karanne again, right? right? This is the rough sketch, and join those 2 points, and you have to name y equals 2x plus 3. If they are asking from you to plot, only plot, then plot, right? If they do not ask to plot, don't. Right? So try to do the next one. Y equals 1 upon 2 plus x plus 2. Second one, try to do the second one. Second one, I will give you to try 4 minutes. Huh? I will give you 4 minutes to try. You have to do the same thing. Follow the same thing. Now it is 11:25, right? I will discuss by 11:30. Right, guys, I will explain this again. Right? Right. Look at the board. Right? So my function is y of 1 upon 2x plus 2. Right? And I will take it as 1 because I am not going to repeatedly write that. Right? So I can repeat 1. Right? So I am going to find the intersection point of x-axis. Intersection point of x-axis. If I want to find the intersection point of x-axis, what I need to do? X-axis, then substitute y equals 0 in this one. Correct? So y equals 1 upon 2 x plus 2, right? So instead of y, I am going to substitute 0. 0 equals 1 upon 2x plus 2. So now I need to find the value of x name. Here I have positive 2. I am going to take this positive 2 to my left hand side. Positive 2, it becomes negative 2 when it comes to my left hand side. Then I have 1 upon 2x. Right? Normally, if you want to remove this 2, you are going to multiply both sides by 2. That is the traditional method that you guys are doing. If you are not familiar with the next method, right? Then cut down 2 times 2 minus 4. Right? So at first you can do this. Right? At first you can do this. If you want to find the value of x, right? This 2 is in the denominator, right? This 2 is in the denominator. When it goes to the other side of this equal mark, this goes to the numerator. Very easy. So you can write minus 2 multiplied by this 2. So the value of x is this. Right? X can be written as minus 4. Right? Minus 4. So now you can write the intersection point of x-axis. Intersection point of x-axis. So what is the x-coordinate here? X-coordinate is minus 4, comma, y-coordinate is 0. Y-coordinate is 0. Right? So this is the intersection point of x-axis. Right? Intersection point of x-axis. Understood? Right. So likewise, I am going to find the intersection point of y-axis as well. If you want to find the intersection point of y-axis, what do you do? You need to substitute x equals 0. The opposite thing with y-axis na x equals 0 in 1. Right? This is your function y equals 1 upon 2 x plus 2. So if you substitute x equals 0 in this term, this whole term becomes 0. So y equals 2. Well, so you can write the intersection point of y-axis like this. First of all, x coordinate. X coordinate is 0 because you are substituting 0. Comma, y coordinate is 2. Y coordinate is 2. Correct? 0, comma 2. Correct? So now you can roughly sketch the plot. This is your y-axis. This is your x-axis. Right? And I am going to mark these 2 points. So where this graph intersect with the x-axis, minus 4, comma 0. X-axis. Minus 4. I will mark somewhere around here. This is my minus 4. Right? So this point is Puda, and this point is minus 4 comma 0. Right? Minus 4 comma 0. Now this is done. I have marked it. Now I am going to mark this one. 0 comma 2. Right? 0 comma 2. Somewhere around here. So I will take this as 2. So Puda, this point is 0 comma 2 on the y-axis. Right? Y-axis. So now join these 2 points. So from here to here. Right? Now this is your plot. This is your graph of that. So this the function of this graph is y equal 1 upon 2 x plus 2. Right? So now you will get the complete mark for this one. Right? Shall we do the third one? තුන්වෙනි කරලා දාමු ටක් ගාලා. Right? Give it a try. Now I will give you 3 minutes. Huh? I will give you 3 minutes. Nilanna, it is minus 4 comma 0, right? So you are missing the minus sign. Right? Try to do the example number 3, which is 2x minus 3y equals 6. Right? Example number 3 is, right? You have to just substitute x equals 0 and y equals 0. Then you can find out the values. Right? Nothing else than that. But easy. Mega. Keep your function as like this. Sorry. මෙහෙමම තියාගෙන substitute කරන්න. Your function is 2x minus 3y. Right? Your function is 2x minus 3y equals 6. So, you have nothing to do, right? Try to follow the same steps. Intersection point of x-axis, substitute y equals 0 here, then find the x value, then write down the x-axis point, intersection point of y-axis, substitute x equals 0 here, then find y, blah blah blah, right? මම මේ හදනවා කෙටිම ක්‍රමයකට. හරි. මේ මොකවත් ඕනේ නැහැ. I am going to find this by using a in a short way, right? මේක තමයි පට්ටම easy. මුකුත් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. You don't need to convert this into y equals mx plus blah 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 or whatever the thing. හරිද? Right? Keep as it is. Substitute x equals 0 and substitute y equals 0 to get the intersection point of both x-axis and y-axis. Done. Right? So let's do. I told you guys to I will do this in a small short way. Short way. Look at the board. අර වගේ හැලි ලියන්න නැහැ. Right? No හැලි will be given. දඩස් ගාලා හදන්න. Right? Short form. Right? Now the keep as it is. Right? So you are going to find the intersection point of x-axis. X-axis. Now think on mama අහනකොට you guys think මම අහනවා you guys think if I want to find the x-axis what I am going to do in the next step. Right? X-axis ni y equals 0. Y equals 0 in 1. Substitute y equals 0 in 1. Right? So this is it. Right? So I am going to substitute y equals 0. If this y term negative equals 0, right? So shall I write it? No. 2x, this whole term becomes 0, 2x equals 6. So divide both sides by 2. 2 times 1, 2 times 1, x equals 3. So what is the intersection point then? Right? What is the intersection point? X value is 3. Y value is 0. 3, 0. So, Buddha, x-axis intersect at 3, 0 point. Right. Now y-axis. Now y-axis. Right? Y-axis. If I want to find the intersection point of y-axis, what should I need to do? X equals 0 in 1. Right? X equals 0 in 1. What is 1? This is 1. This is my function. Right? If I substitute x equals 0 here, this whole term becomes 0. Right? This whole term becomes 0. But I have minus 3y equals 6. Minus 3y equals 6. Okay. So I need to remove minus 3 from this side to find the value of y. So I am going to divide this side by minus 3, this side by minus 3. Minus to minus positive. 3 times 1, 3 times 1, y equals 6 divided by 3. Sorry, positive divided by negative, negative 6 divided by 3, 2. So y equals minus 2. So what is the intersection point? X value is 0, right? Y value is minus 2. So now I am going to mark this on a Cartesian plane roughly. I am going to plot. Right? So this is my y-axis. This is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. Right? This is my y-axis. Right? Okay. Nilana has sent me the other answer. Okay. So I am going to mark this in the Cartesian plane. This is my x coordinate. This is my y coordinate. X3, 0. So somewhere around here. This is 3 x3. So this is my point. 3, 0. Alright. Then 0, minus 2. 0, minus 2 is somewhere around here. Right? So this point is 0, minus 2. So now I am going to join these 2 points. So this is my right function. You can write down this same, right? You can write down as it is. 2x minus 3y equals 6. Done. Plotting is done. Shall we do the fourth one? Abhi fourth one net kala damu. Please do it. Fourth one ni patas gala karana now you know the thing. Eka patta easy hone. Me vidiyawai. Keep as it is and substitute. Data gala karana thi. Patas gala karana. I think Nilanya and both answers are correct. Super. Right. So my function is this minus 2x plus 4y plus 2 equals 0. Right? Right. So this is my function. So I am going to find the intersection point of x-axis and y-axis. Right? If I want to find the intersection point of x-axis, I am going to substitute y equals 0 in 1, this function. Right? If I substitute y equals 0 here, right, I have something like this. Minus 2x plus 2 equals 0. Right? Plus 2 equals 0. So Buddha, I am going to take this plus 2 to this side. So it becomes negative 2. I am going to remove this minus 2 at once from my left hand side by dividing minus 2, right, both sides. Minus 2 minus positive, 2 times 1, 2 times 1, right. So x equals positive positive 1, x equals 1. So that I can write x coordinate is 1 where y coordinate is 0. And right, now I am going to find this. I am going to find y intersection point of y axis. I am going to find y axis. Then I need to substitute x equals 0 in 1. If I substitute x equals 0 in 1, this term becomes 0. Right? This term becomes 0, so that I have 4y plus 2 equals 0. So I am going to take this term to this side. 4y equals minus 2. I want to find the value of y. So divide both sides by 4. 4 times 1, 4 times 1. Y equals 2 times 1, 2 times 2. Half, minus half. So you can write x coordinate 0, comma, y coordinate minus half. So you are going to plot this, right? So I will draw y-axis, x-axis. This is your y-axis. Alright. Then first 1 comma 0. Right? X-axis 1 comma 0. Somewhere around, I will take somewhere around here. This is x equals 1. Alright. Then next one 0 comma minus half. So that is in y-axis. So minus of this. So I can tell this point is 1 comma 0. This point is 0 comma minus half. And I can join these two lines. And if you want, you can extend this to this side. So this is my line minus 2x plus 4y plus 2 equals 0. Right? Hope you got. Nothing the case lazy. You need to practice again, yeah? ඔයාලා පන්ති 100කට ගියක් වැඩක් නැහැ. ඔයාලා තනියම ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරේ නැත්නම්. හරිද? Right. Okay පුතේ. Now all the theory parts are over. හරිද? අපි exercise 20.3 එකේ දඩ දඩ ගාලා මේ examples ටික පට ගාලා කරයි යන්න. Right? 1 by 1 වගේ. Right? Exercise 20.3. Right? Another 10 minutes like ne. Right. So I can wind up the session. So okay, I will leave. So the exercise 20.3, the first one, take the first one. For each of the function given by the equation part A and B, write the gradient and the intercept without drawing the corresponding graphs and write whether the graphs makes an acute or obtuse angle counterclockwise is the positive direction of the axis. We have done it. So I will take one of the. So make a tab. So you guys can do at the home. Exercise 20.3. Part A, right? I will take I will take fourth one, right? I will take fourth one, which is y equals 4 plus 1 upon 2x. So Buddha, this is not in the form of y equals mx plus c. So I will rearrange it. So here half x plus 4, right? I have changed these two terms, right? So I can write, right? My gradient is this way, y equals mx plus c. Right? So my gradient is m, which is a positive half. My c intercept is positive 4. And they are asking, write down the whether the graph makes an acute or obtuse angle. Now you guys can think about m. M is positive. Make a positive, right? Right? Make a positive. M is positive, so this forms an acute angle. I have given that to you, acute angle. So this is done, right? So Buddha, likewise, you can do the rest. In any case, m becomes negative, then obtuse angle, right? You have to think like that. How am I going to find it out? Figure it out? M is positive, positive nang acute angle with the positive direction of the x-axis. And if m is negative, negative nang obtuse angle. Yes, done. Alright, so this is how we are going to do the part A. I will take some from part B as well. Part B, I will take the second one. Hari, third one is for you. Hari, एक बोटा सुलुकिन इतना ना करा का. Hari, B second one. Hari, 4y plus 1 equals 4x. Hari. So Buddha, this is not in the form of y equals mx plus c, so that I need to make sure that we have that. So here you have positive one, take it to this side. So that 4y equals 4x minus 1. It is right now also this is not in the form of y equals mx plus c, so that you have to divide this term by 4, this term by 4, and this term by 4 itself. Right here 4 times 1, 4 times 1, y equals 4 times 1, 4 times 1, x minus 1 upon 4. Now this is in the form of y equals mx plus c. So Buddha, you know what is m here, right? Coefficient of x is 1, right? So you can write m equals positive 1. ඒක තමයි මම කියන්නේ, you have to write with the positive sign or the negative sign whether it is given here or not. Right? Positive 1. Then C, intersection is minus 1 upon 4. Right? Minus 1 upon 4. This is positive acute angle with the positive direction of the x-axis. Right? So that is done. Right? That is the exercise 20.3, first question, part A and B, right? For an example. So you guys can do the others. So let's go for part 2. Part 2. So you have given the gradient here and you have given the intercept in this column, and finally you have to write the function. right? Function y equals mx plus c. So this is the easiest way. When you have given the gradient and c, you know how to do these things, right? You have to just substitute instead of m and instead of c. M is positive 2, c is negative 5. So you can write down the function y equals x, right? So y equals mx next. Instead of m, I am going to substitute 2. Instead of this term, I am going to substitute minus 5. Right? Try to catch the pattern. Right? Then do the next one. I mean the next one minus half. What is here? Familiar. Instead of m, I am going to substitute minus half. Instead of c, I am going to substitute minus 3. So Buddha, you can write y equals instead of m minus half x instead of c, I am going to substitute minus 3. Alright. So now you can do the rest. Okay. Now you can do the rest. Right. Right. Go for the page number 40. Go for the page number 40. Page number 40. Seventh question. That's what I mean. I will share the screen. I will share the screen. Can't find it. So like wait, give me 5 seconds. These three lines are parallel, so you know if what happens when it is parallel, right? So Buddha, this is y equals x maker, right? You know this is y equals x. And again, what this is in the form of y equals mx plus c, but here plus c means plus 0, right? So if these things are parallel together, this AB line and PQ, right, to this line, right? This AB and PQ are parallel to this line. So this should begin from y equals x. And this should begin from also y equals x as well. And you have to define what is C, intersection, right? So AB line goes through point 2. This is positive 2. So Buddha, this becomes positive 2. And PQ line goes through the y-axis in minus 3. Then y equals x minus 3. This becomes minus 3. Right? Because these PQ and AB line are both parallel to y equals x. And y equals x. So Buddha, you have to decide only this intercept point. Right? This AB line crosses through the y-axis at point 2. This line, this 3, right, sorry, this PQ line crosses at minus 3. So you have to write minus 2. Are you there? Right. So that is done. And that is done. And let's go to the next part. So you can try others at home. Are you there? Right. So guys, make write the equation of the function of the graph sketch below. So they have given you the gradient. Gradient කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? What is called the gradient? This is equal to m නේද? Right? M. So this graph is of the function of the form of y equals mx. Right? There is no c because c equals to 0. Right? C equals to 0. This goes through the point origin. So you can write the answer y equals, they have given the gradient as 2. That means m to x. Y equals 2x. Correct? Then next one. Method gradient equals minus 3. So you know y equals minus 3x. I am not going to tell you. I am not going to tell that. No. Okay. Right. I will clear this and I am moving to the next one. This one. Okay. What is in? So first of all, you need to write y equals mx plus c. And what is your m? M is this gradient. Right? What is your c? C equals 4. Positive 4. Because c is this. When we are now c. This is c. So you can write the function by looking at the graph. Y equals m means 3 upon 2 x. And c is positive 4. Done. This one. So first of all, you need to write down the form of the function y equals mx plus c. You need to identify what is m, right, and what is c. Like there is y equals minus 1 upon 3 x plus 3. Right? What ටිකක් වේගෙන් කරගෙන ගියා ඒ ටික පට්ට ලේසියිනේ. You have to identify the pattern. Pattern එක අඳුරගත්තා නම් මේක නැති. Right, Pudi? Okay. So I think the next things are very easy. So you know the theories. Right? So you know the theories and all the things have been covered. Right? All the things have been covered. Right? So Buddha, I will end the session from here. Session now it is more than 4 hours. 4 hours and 20 minutes. So thank you guys for staying. And ඔගොල්ලෝ set එක ආවට thank you. හරිද? මේ මම හැමතිස්සෙම කියන්නේ එකයි free දෙන එකෙන් පොඩ්ඩක් මොකක් හරි ප්‍රයෝජනයක් ගන්න බලන්න. හරිද? අර vote කරලා තිබ්බා එන ගොඩක් අර poll එකට. මට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ මෙච්චරයි. හරි. So පුතා මේ හොඳට exam එක කොට දාගන්න. So guys, join in the paper class as well. හරිද? Sunday at 7 p.m. හරි? Sunday at 7 p.m. So good luck with your exams. Right? So let's meet in another free session, right? සමහරට in your grade 10 හරි සමහරට මම මාසයකට එකපාරක් දන්සලක් දේවි කියලා හිතනවා. මාසයකට එකපාරක්. හරි? පොයේ දවසේ හරි නැතුව හරි කවදා හරි දවසක මේ in your grade 10 after 2026, right? ඒක මටත් පිනක්. හරිද? මොකක් හරි ළමයෙක් දෙන්නෙක් හරි කියන්නේ ඉගෙන ගනින්නේ මොනවා හරි ළමයෙක් දෙන්නෙක් හරි මොනවා හරි ඉගෙන ගන්න. හරිද? එතකොට මාසයකට එකක් හරි මාස දෙකකට එකක් හරි දන්සලක් දෙනවා. හරිද? එතකොට ඒක ඉතින් ගන්න එක ඔයාලගේ වැඩක්. හරි? So guys, thank you for joining and hope you guys got a good knowledge. So පුතා මේ අර කට්ටිය කියනවා මාස 3න් O level වලට එකක් ගමු private එන්න එපා ඒවට. පට්ට බොරු. හරිද? අමූලික බොරු. ඔයාලා දකින්න ඇතිනේ. මාස 3න් O level වලට එකක් ගමු ගණන් වලට. අහවල් සබ්ජෙක්ට් එකට එකක් ගමු. පුතා අවුරුදු දෙකක් පාඩම් කරලා මාස 3 අවුරුදු දෙකක් ලෑස්ති වෙනව ඔයගොල්ලෝ O level වලට. කොහොමද පුතා මාස් 3න් ඔලවලට එකක් ගන්න? එහෙනම් ඉතින් ඔයා පිස්සු කෙල්ල යන්නකෝ මාස් 3ක් ඒ පන්ති වලට ඒක ගන්න පුළුවන්. බොරු ගාදා බයිලා. හරිද? එහෙම මේ කොහෙවත් බොරු මේ පොයි නෑ හරි. එහෙම කරන්න බෑ. ගොම්පාට් කරන්න එපා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ මුලින් ඉඳන් වැඩ කරගෙන යන්න පිළිවෙලට. හරිද? මම කිව්වා විනාඩි 30ක් ගණන් කොට දාන්න කියලා. ඒක කරගෙන යන විනාඩි 30ක් ඇති දවසට. ගාණක් කරන් පතුරු යන්න හදන්න ගාන. හරිද? ඒ ගානම හරි ගමන්නේ විනාඩි 30 ඇතුලේ 10 පාරක් හදන්න. ඔයා දන්නවා ඒක හදන විදිය දන්නවා. ඔයාට ආයේ ඒ වගේ ගණක් આવොත් නැති. කටපාඩම් කරන්න කියන නෙමෙයි. හරිද? එහෙම කරන්න. හරිද? ඔය බොරු එකා මේකා කියන පස්සේ යන්න කැමති නෑ යන්න. අවුලක් නෑ. හරිද? ගිහිලා මොනවාරි නොලෙජ් එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ගන්න. හැබැයි මාස් 3ෙන් එහෙම ගන්න බෑ. ගන්න පුළුවන් නම් ඌ හෙන පට්ට වැඩේ. ඒ කියන්නේ පට්ට වැඩේ කියන්නේ අර මේ ඌ ඔයාලට වඩා වැඩ කරපු එකෙක්. ඌ කොහොමවත් ඒකක් ගන්නවා. ඔයාලට S පාස් එකක වගේ ඉඳලා ඉවරලා A පාස් එකකට මාස් 3 යන්න බෑ. S එකේ ඉඳලා ඕනනම් ඔයා උපරිම C එකකට එන්න. හරිද? B එකෙක් A වෙයි. හරිද? එහෙ එච්චරයි. ඊට වැඩිය එකක් නෑ. මන් දන්නේ එහෙම මට හම්බෙලත් නෑ. හරි. බොරු ගොම්පාට කියන්නේ. හරිද? So Uda, thank you for joining and I hope you guys got a good knowledge about this. හරිද? මම මේ session එකම කරලා දිනවා පැය 8:00මාරක්. හරි? ගිය සතියේ පැය 4යි මේ සතියේ පැය 4:00මාරයි. හරිද? තියරිටිකයි ගණනුයි ඔක්කොම කවර් කරන්න. ඉතින් මේක විතරක් මම පැය 8:00මාරක් කරලා දිනවා. පැය දෙකේ ක්ලාස් කීයක්ද? පැය දෙකේ ක්ලාස් 4ක්. මාස තනි මාසයක්. හරිද? තනි මාසෙත් මම මේක කරලා දිනවද? හරිද? ඉතින් කොහොමද පුතා මේක ගිහලා කවර් කරන්නේ? මේ මාස 3. මාස 3 මාසයක් යනවා ග්‍රාෆ් කරන්න විතර. ඉස්සු. හරි? Okay guys, good luck and let's meet in the paper discussion class, right? And okay, bye. See you. Good luck.